Classroom Dynamics is supported by Logitech. As education continues to evolve, so does Logitech Education, your partner in content creation for the classroom. With Logitech's cutting-edge technology, students not only learn but also become content creators. Whether it's in person or online, Logitech's tools are designed to inspire educators and learners alike. Capture every educational moment in stunning detail and edit, produce, and share your creative journey with ease. Logitech Education, inspiring the next generation of creators. For more, visit logitech.com/education, transforming classrooms one innovation at a time. Welcome to Classroom Dynamics Shorts, a podcast within the podcast that I like to call Bits and Bytes, designed to empower educators like you with quick and practical tips for seamless technology integration in your classroom. Hi everybody, I'm your host Adam Todd, and together we're going to explore the ever-changing world of educational technology. Bits and Bytes brings you bite-sized episodes lasting 5 minutes or less, packed with innovative tricks, tools, and strategies to enhance your teaching experience and engage your students through the power of technology. So whether you're a seasoned tech enthusiast or just dipping your toes into the digital waters for the very first time, these short bursts of inspiration will help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of educational technology. So let's integrate Bits and Bytes into your classroom for a more enriching and impactful learning environment. This is Classroom Dynamics Bits and Bytes, the podcast within the podcast. Every classroom has the potential to be extraordinary, and the Logitech Reach adjustable content camera is your partner in making that happen. With its flexible arm and clear video, you can now showcase everything from detailed drawings to live experiments, ensuring that every student is engaged and involved. Whether you're teaching in person or online, Logitech Reach helps you connect with your students in a whole new way. Ready to take your lessons further? Visit logitech.com/reach and elevate your classroom to a whole new level.
First off, I'm so glad you didn't say learning styles, because that has been debunked. And Nicky and I really stress the emphasis on learning preferences. We have different preferences to learn, whether it's working at our own pace, whether it's having choice in relation to, getting to the outcome, following a defined path. So, we worked really hard to come up with a simple tagline to what does this shift mean? And we came up with there's not just one right way. And this falls into when we look at practice, there's no such thing as a best practice. That's one way. If there was a best practice, we'd all be doing it with a high degree of fidelity and getting amazing results. There are effective practices. And when we come to personalization, which is not all students doing the same thing at the same time, the same way, which is not putting every student on iReady, iExcel, or whatever, fill in the blank for the adaptive learning tool, where there's no discourse, no relationship, the personal and personalized. We want to ensure that for teachers, personalization in simplest forms is maximizing the time that you have with your students. It's not more work. It's not another thing. It is better work. It is the right work. It is where all learners get what they need when and where they need it to learn. The strategies are not new, but the shift to practice might be new for teachers. And when we shift our practice, we get uncomfortable. And that's a few things that we try to debunk in the book.
That clip was from our Season 3 premiere. Hi everybody, this is Classroom Dynamics Bits and Bytes, the podcast within the podcast where we explore cutting-edge technologies and innovative ways to enhance the educational experience. Hi there, I'm your host Adam Todd, and today we're diving into a topic that's on every educator's mind: how to effectively personalize classroom education for our students. Now, if you tuned into our season premiere, you heard an incredible conversation with Sheninger and Nicky Slaugh, who are co-authors of the new book, Personalize, an essential guide for educators. They shared some amazing insights on how to create inclusive and dynamic learning environments tailored to the needs of each and every student. If you haven't listened to that episode yet, I highly recommend that you do, because there is a wealth of practical advice and inspiration that's packed into it. But today, we're giving you a quick overview of their ideas and how you can start to implement them into your classroom right away. Now, when we talk about personalization, we're talking about more than just differentiating instruction or giving students some choice in what they learn. Eric Sheninger and Nicky Slaugh emphasize that personalization is about creating an environment where students are co-designers of their learning experience. This shifts the classroom dynamic from a one-size-fits-all model to one that's dynamic, adaptable, and most of all, it caters to the individual learning styles, needs, and interests of the student. Take a listen to what they said.
Well, I think it's what we were just talking about within those choice activities, that you provide a variety of different innovative ideas for your kids, right? And so I could walk into a classroom and see a group of kids on the floor building something, where I could see another group with the teacher. I could see another group out in the hall, using their phones, creating a video. Other kids could be using Adobe Express, creating a podcast with with avatars. So it's just walking in that room and seeing everyone maybe working on the same standard. If it's, say, science, a foundation class that we don't allow, not every class we do self-pacing. Like I said, some of the subject areas felt we'd rather go deeper versus faster because they didn't have prior knowledge from the previous year, a history class or a science class, whereas English or math would do self-pacing because they could prove proficiency. Does that make sense? But when you walk in those classes, just seeing everybody's learning, but they're learning in a way that they choose to do. And then the teacher's moving from group to group. And it's so beautiful because they're all engaged and the conversations are still based around the same standard. But when you take a child and you provide them choice and a variety of options, it's just unbelievable versus when you say, okay, everyone turn to page 34 and we're all going to do this.
Now, research shows that when students feel ownership of their learning, they're more engaged, motivated, and successful. And that's the heart of personalization, empowering students to take charge of their educational journey while still providing the guidance and structure they need to succeed. In Personalize, Eric Sheninger and Nicky Slaugh provide a comprehensive framework that teachers can use to start personalized learning right away. This framework centers around 4 key pillars: culture, pathways, pace, and voice. Establishing a classroom culture that values student voice, choice, and agency involves creating a safe environment where students feel comfortable expressing their ideas, taking risks, and collaborating with their peers. Offering multiple pathways for students to demonstrate their understanding, such as through project-based learning, digital portfolios, or alternative assessments, allows them to showcase their strengths and interests. Personalized learning also respects individual learning processes by allowing students to progress at their own pace and the pace that suits them the best, recognizing that not all students learn at the same rate. Additionally, encouraging student voice in designing their learning experience through setting goals, selecting projects, and reflecting on growth fosters a deeper sense of ownership and engagement in their education. These pillars don't just create personalized learning environments, they create a more inclusive one. By considering each student's background, interest, and needs, we can foster a sense of belonging and ensure that every learner feels valued and seen. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds great, but where do I start? That's a common question, and luckily, Personalize offers some very actionable strategies. Start by reframing your mindset. Instead of seeing yourself solely as a deliverer of content, consider yourself a facilitator of learning. Your role is to guide, support, and empower students to take ownership of their learning. You can do this by creating a student-centered classroom that uses data to inform instruction. Regularly assessing where your students are is important, and then you should use that information to customize learning experiences. Next, leverage technology. Tools like Kami, Google Classroom, and personalized learning platforms can help you tailor lessons to meet each student's needs. These tools allow for real-time feedback, differentiated instruction, and opportunities for students to work at their own pace. In our season premiere, Nicky Slaugh highlighted some fantastic digital tools that can make personalization more manageable, so be sure to check them out. And finally, remember that personalization is a journey, it's not a destination. Start small. Maybe it's by incorporating choice boards or by holding one-on-one conferences to set personalized learning goals. Build from there, continuously involving students in the process and reflecting on what works and what may not be working and what can be improved. So to wrap things up, personalizing education is not just a trend, it's a powerful approach that can transform your classroom into a vibrant, inclusive, and engaging space. Eric Sheninger and Nicky Slaugh's book, Personalize, is a fantastic resource for any educator looking to make this shift. Don't forget to listen to our full episode featuring them if you haven't already. It's packed with insights that can help you get started or take your personalization efforts to the next level. Well, that's it for today's Bits and Bytes episode. Stay tuned for more quick and practical episodes that bring you the latest in education and technology. And as always, thank you for being part of the Classroom Dynamics community. For more on Classroom Dynamics, follow us on X at Class Dynamics or on Instagram at Classroom Dynamics Podcast. And be sure to search Classroom Dynamics on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast shows.